Hello and welcome to the first A2Z Dreams podcast. I'm Angela Brandenburg, or A2Z Angela, the creator and the host of the A2Z Dream Workshop. Many of you may know or remember it from a few years back when I was just getting going and creating what ended up being like a half-day program, right? Dream was something that came to me when I was praying on what is the purpose of my life? What does God want me to do here? And he answered my prayer. And, you know, when taking time to reflect and journal, he said, you know, some of the biggest fears in life is public speaking. And Angela, you're not afraid to do that. So, yeah, he answered my prayer and said, I want you to teach. I want you to speak in front of people. I want you to live your dream. Well, what does dream? What does dream mean, right? Dream stands for discover passions, realize entrepreneurial abilities, and manifest your destiny. And yeah, it was each one of those letters became another piece of the puzzle or another piece of the workshop. And when discovering, I want to talk a little bit about how those pieces all fit together. So the Dream Workshop, right? It's a day-long program. I'm bringing it back and launching it this spring here locally in Wisconsin. And then the plan and the dream is to expand and go out there to campuses around the country once again. I had traveled down to Miami and Ball State and Indiana, different parts of Indiana and Iowa and Drake and different college conferences where a whole bunch of colleges would come together. And so it started with, you know, things I had learned that helped me in my career. And so the discovering passions, what was that about, right? So that was about discovering yourself and studying different personality types. And now there's lots of different types out there, but it was about, you know, I would take the Myers-Briggs, I'd take the animals and the color test and all of these different things, and I started teaching that. And then from there, the second part was, you know, based on the Institute for Community Survey years ago, and it was what were the biggest regrets in life? And those three things were people wish they had taken more risks, taken more time to reflect, and left a legacy. And now I had been listening to a lot of inspirational speakers, and one of them was all about basketball, and that was right here, you know, Beyond Basketball, Coach Key's Words for Success, Mike Kronowski. And now I've never, ever been a basketball player, a volleyball player. If anybody that knows me knows I am 5'0" and can barely jump to save my life. So let alone spike or anything else, I was just never going to use the sports analogy. And I just really, you know, started thinking about playing the game of life, you know, and different cards, different board games, things like that. So I was like, whoa, what about poker? You know, I could talk about, you know, playing the game of poker as in life. And that was kind of how the theme came into play. And when I started this second piece of the workshop, it was called Risk and Reflection Blackjack. Now, the movie 21 came out a few years ago. Some of you may remember this, but it was about a group of students from MIT that went out and rigged the system, and they wanted to make a whole bunch of money so they could put themselves through college playing blackjack. Now, I'm not here to encourage gambling or counting cards or anything like that, but it's just a friendly way to say, like, let's take some risks. And so during Risk and Reflection Blackjack, we have a way to customize the workshop. So the letters from A to Z, right? Every letter of the alphabet stands for something different, a different life topic to go from college to career. And so we asked different questions. You know, B is for balance. So how do you put balance in your life? Or what happens when your life is out of balance? Things like that. Now, the third piece of the workshop is all about, you know, entrepreneurship. So discover passions, realize entrepreneurial abilities. So there's entrepreneurship, right? What could we do to help our students and our participants build their team building skills and yet apply it to building a business, right? Well, what about building a dream home? You could build it one brick at a time. Everybody wants to put some thought into how they decorate their space, you know, how the layout is. And so we took a whole bunch of playing cards and we let them build a business or a dream home. And they have to work together. We have to talk about different resources you'd use in a business. And now, not only how they could apply their personality type, but you know, how they can take risks and put themselves into something, and how they can all work together. What are they going to name it? What's it going to be designed like, this building, right? So then they do a presentation at the end. So, all right, we got discover passions, realize entrepreneurial abilities. Abilities, right? What is ability? Our ability to do something big, our ability to dream big. Well, I think first you have to start with, what's the opposite of ability? When you can't do something, what holds you back? And I think most people would agree that the majority of the time what's holding them back from realizing their own dreams would be fear. And so, you know, there's another saying that says, let your faith be bigger than your fear. And once again, I really had to count on my own faith. I had to pray. I had to let God, you know, even before I would start talking about the Dream Workshop, work through me and encourage me to go out there and take a leap of faith and share this dream with other people, that I wanted to build the Dream Workshop. And the way that I first started doing this was by resigning from my position in real estate in 2008. And I traveled the country for about 12 weeks, living out of the Birdmobile and staying with my business network, my co-ed professional business fraternity alumni and students who I had met at these college campuses when I was, you know, I was in my mid-20s then, and just going out there and traveling the country and visiting them. But I was also telling them about this big dream, workshop, and about this big journey and tour I wanted to do across the country. And just by doing that, it was what initially got me going and got over that fear of sharing my dream with other people. Now, over the course of, say, the last 10 years, that dream has evolved, but many of the pieces are still the same. And the Dream Workshop was always kind of the meat and potatoes of my piece of what that dream was for that tour and what I wanted to do with my life. And so as everything evolved, life happens, right? So I had done, you know, 3 pieces of the workshop. I had wanted to start the last 2 segments of it. And all of a sudden, you know, you want to make God laugh. Tell him your plans. He brought a man into my life, and I knew that this was somebody I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. I couldn't be building a solid foundation and relationship and a life with somebody at the same time I was building a business. And so I kind of took a step back from the Dream Workshop at that point. I went into advertising, marketing, worked with a variety of businesses in the Wisconsin area, did, you know, different pieces of my career and building my customer service skills and other things. And then we, you know, got married. We had a child together. She was born a premature baby at weighing only 2 pounds and half an ounce. And my life became about taking care of, her with special needs. And from there, we joined other missions and created awareness for premature birth, and I spoke at different groups on that topic for a while. All while also starting to work in youth ministry and starting to teach the workshop at that high school level. We had taken time to reflect on each one of those A to Z topics, and it was awesome. So I kind of just put a pin in it, put it up on a shelf for a little while, and then, he's always been talking. I've always been listening, and he's saying, Angela, when it's ready, when I'm ready for you, we're going to pick this back up, and you're going to finish the workshop, and this is going to be it. So this is where we're at. I took another workshop from a local teacher. Her name is Nancy Vanda High, a couple years ago, and it was called the Dream Retreat. And I had created a vision board through that Dream Retreat. And a lot of it was, again, through prayer, through meditation, through answering a lot of life's questions about what do you want to do with your life and what do you want to see. And through creating different vision boards and knowing about them in the past, a lot of things that I had put on them would be realized. And so it's not just at the Dream Retreat that you could do a workshop, but, there are so many places and people out there on the internet that talk about the law of attraction and the power of manifesting, that when it came time to complete this dream workshop, and I knew that God had put this on my heart, that the last piece would be all about manifesting your destiny. It would be talking and teaching about visualization and about how when you put something out there and you can pray on it, or you visualize it, or you are very clear with your intention of where you want to go in your life, that He's going to help you and that you are more likely to succeed in that dream. So, yeah, that is the overview of the workshop. And I'm so excited to be bringing it back this year. It's a great year of, excitement, a lot of things happening. It's an amazing feeling to be, once again, just going out there and teaching the Dream Workshop. And now to be launching it with this podcast is going to be incredible. I had somebody come forward years ago and say, I'd sponsor your podcast, Angela. And we had kind of planned it all out, and I had talked about it then, but it wasn't on my heart, and it wasn't a good time to launch something with that. And so I'm really excited. This podcast is going to be not only introducing different pieces of the workshop, but also interviewing business owners who have achieved their dreams or are starting to achieve their dreams and starting a business, and what that all looks like. How did they follow their dream, and how did they make it happen, and what can we learn from them? As well as different experts who are also out there teaching personality types, and plethora of information that is covered in other workshops. I just want to connect with other speakers out there who are out there doing some great things to teach different audiences with different topics, and it's going to be great. So if you've tuned into this today, I really appreciate you being here, and I hope to hear from you in some way, shape, or form, whether it's connecting with you and visiting your school or campus, possibly interviewing you as a business owner for the A to Z Dream podcast, or just let's grab a cup of coffee and see where life takes us, see where God is working in our lives as well. So I am so grateful once again to all of the people that have supported this dream, that have said, Angela, how did you ever come up with that? I think it's a great idea, and just so much love and support has come for the Dream Workshop, and I just am so grateful for all of it. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and come on back for the next one. It's sure to have some great information for everyone. Thanks so much.